Hi, so we're out here, we're on the lake. I got 80% power in my Vexilar. I got a train. I got two brand new knees. Still got a train. So if you've been watching rice videos for a while, you probably noticed an ugly plastic bag riding around with all of my gear. All my tungstens ride around in some small fly boxes, but those fly boxes were getting really full. And my other baits, because I didn't have a really convenient system for them, rode around in a plastic bag. And every time I bought new stuff, it went in that old plastic bag and they just rode around in my bucket. Not a very good system. And to be honest with you, a lot of them never made it out of the package because I didn't have quick access to them. I just wasn't using what I was buying and wanting to use. I decided to make that system better because I was tired of carrying the plastic bag. One of the handles ripped out of it. It was inconvenient. It was taking up almost too much room in my bucket because it was getting so much garbage in it. Because of the packaging for all these lures, because you can't put them in there without the packaging because the hooks get caught in the bag. Again, right and stupid. Should have done it years ago. But I had a small tackle box, which is convenient if you're going to be walking the bank or something. I haven't been using it for that, and it's been sitting around. I thought, you know what? This is going to be my ice tackle bag. It's got room to hook one 3500 box on top. I don't currently need that much room, but it's nice to have there because if there's a particular thing I'm doing, I can take the box that's pertinent to that out and stick it on top so I don't have to unzip it every time. The inside here, I have 3500 size boxes and I put all my stuff in there. Now, I never really liked the idea of carrying tungstens in a 3500 box because if you drop it or something happens, you're gonna have 8,000 tungstens laying all over the ice. This particular tackle bag has a hard top and a hard bottom. And what I like about that is this thing can sit in an inch of water and not get the fabric wet, not get water inside it. So when you're out here and we're fishing, if we get a bunch of snow, which they're talking about, we could get a decent quantity of snow today. When you get snow on ice and you punch a hole, a bunch of water comes up. You can remember last year we had a ton of snow on the ice. There's water everywhere. And all your gear sits in a bunch of water inside the hut or on the ice if you're fishing with no hut like I am today. So having that molded bottom is super convenient. I've got a pouch on the front that's zippered. I've got a fish counter and a particular, these aren't plastics, they're silkies, so I didn't put them in my plastics deal. I haven't fished my silkies yet, but I intend to. Zach's been running them and he likes them. I've got a plier holder on the one side. Of course, I got my Dr. Slicks in there for releasing fish because I want that out where I can get at it quick in case I got a fish I don't want to tear up. I can get at my Dr. Slicks real easy. I haven't filled these two pouches on the ends yet, and I didn't put a second pair of Dr. Slicks on this side, although I will, because no matter which way it's facing, I can grab them quick. And then I got the 3500 boxes on the inside. The one that I have sitting on top right now is on top because it's got my flashlight for lighting up glow jigs. It's also got my spoons in it, several different sizes and styles of spoon, and some weighted minnow hooks. They're lead, they're not tungsten, but they do have single hooks for running minnows. Speaking of that, I've got depth finder, a bunch of different bobbers, some hooks, some weights, and bobber stops in here. Also for dead stick fishing. I don't do a ton of that, but I have it there if I need it. I labeled everything on the end of the box, so when it's sitting in there on its end, I know which box is which. I labeled both sides. I called this my action baits. I didn't have enough room to write action baits, so I just wrote big baits on that side, but these are my Z-vibers, lipless cranks, chubby darters. I've got jigging wraps. I don't have a ton of that. I don't fish a ton of that, but I've got room to add more, which is good. So if we end up fishing up north a lot, I can add a bunch more of that stuff. Got my soft plastics. Gonna be needing them today because I don't have any live bait, but I got plenty of soft plastics. I fish a number of different ones in some different colors. For my tungstens, I wanted a solution that would allow me to have them pinned in like I do in my fly box, but have them in a bigger container and one that would fit in my tackle bag. I used the Plano 3500 boxes that came with the 3500 bag, and I got some soft material. This is yoga mat, like shelf liner type material that I cut into pieces that just fit inside here, and I pinned all my baits into it so that they wouldn't be rattling around making a bunch of noise. They wouldn't get dinged up, chipped up. And if I drop this, hopefully they'll stay in 6 big chunks instead of a bunch of loose tungstens all over the ice. So this is my bright box for all of my bright tungstens, and this guy is my natural colored box. Now, I have a system that I've described a number of times whereby I like to use a bright lure to bring fish over, but if they won't eat that bright lure, I can switch to a smaller and more natural colored bait. So that is my ice tackle bag system, which should resolve the carrying around a plastic bag, which never worked that good for me in the first place. Thought you should know, because I'm pretty happy with this particular system so far. Okay, that's enough talking about my stuff. I'll put a lure down and see what that fish was. Here comes some. Oh, he gave it a try. They're attacking with me. Here comes one. They are finicky. All right, well, we're getting rejected, so we're definitely going to switch to a different bait. Well, if the geese are flying, shouldn't the fish be biting? There was a fish on the bottom when I don't have a jig down, of course. Bunch of marks down there. Hey, I call him. And he is tiny. Well, going to small natural color got me bit. There's a tiny bit bigger bluegill, and there's more of them down there. Smaller and natural color got me bit, even without. I get a very small tungsten, like a very small tungsten, and a very small piece of plastic. Little guy. But you can see we are catching the fish that are here, just the fish that are here are not particularly big. And this lake isn't one that I normally fish for big fish.